countries. What's going on? Tell us about this partnership.
Well, thank you, Randall. My dear friend next to me, Prime Minister Davis of the Bahamas, invited me for a visit. And when you're invited by a friend, you honor the invitation, right? So I went over to Bahamas, and boy, was I blown away. Not only by the pristine beauty of the Bahamas and the warmth of the people, but the genuine interest of the leadership of the Bahamas and Prime Minister Davis to improve the lot for the people of the Bahamas. And his bravery, you know, his name is bravery, in his desire to confront the existential problems this people faces. Hurricanes, a lot of it due to climate change. And so I learned a lot about the Bahamas, and we decided to partner because we're both small states. We don't make the earth shatter or anybody move when we say anything, but when we're together with others through multilateral fora, we do make some impact. And so it's a pleasure to be with him, always. And I returned the invitation, and he came. He can tell us.
Thank you very much. It is indeed a pleasure being here at this forum. And the one thing that, having assumed the office of Prime Minister of my country in the last 2 years, that really came home to me, and that is no one country can do it. The world has a common destiny for its people, and each country and the leaders of each country, the political directorate, is charged with the responsibility of uplifting the lot of its people. And we cannot do that in a bubble in yourself. No, as I said, no man is an island, no one country could do it. And I believe together, working together, we are stronger. And the existential threats that face the world today, and humanity in particular, requires collaboration between countries. Africa is close to us. We are descendants of those persons who came through that Middle Passage. We survived all the horrors that afflicted us at that time, and we survived. And reconnecting, and despite reconnecting with Africa, which is the richest continent in the world, everything that the world needs is in Africa. And what I'm recognizing, I've come to recognize, is that it is what I call an extractee continent. The extractors of the global north has been extracting with no added value to Africa. And we have to find a way to assist them, and they to assist me. And so we have been working together. I enjoyed Botswana, Interdelta. I say to you all, try and visit it. Well, as you know, he said he enjoyed the Bahamas, and we have a saying that it is always better in the Bahamas. And those of you who have been there would know that. And in fact, if you want a clue to that, just check with the astronaut Kelly. He said when he's circling the Earth, the most beautiful spot in the world is the Bahamas. Just check it.
While we're on this commercial break, my daughter got back from her senior trip to the Bahamas and was blown away. And I am going tomorrow, as President Masisi knows, I'm going to Botswana for the 4th time. They're both incredible countries. What can we expect? So again, clearly the relation, the partnership is real. What tangible outcomes could you foresee in the next few years from this collaboration?
Well, we started off by entering into what I call a bilateral arrangement for political consultation in an effort for us to address the common challenges that we face. For example, food security, transforming to the digital age in this world of advanced technological issues. We have a robust tourism industry. They have a robust tourism industry, but we can learn from each other. And from that memorandum of understanding, we have, for example, entered into two of our agricultural schools have now entered into an arrangement where we can have exchange for technological research in food security and agricultural matters. We are about to enter into other arrangements in the financial services industry because we do have a robust financial services industry. In fact, we are leading the world in the digital currency space, being the first country to have a digital currency in what they call a central bank currency, the CBDC currencies, and a robust regulatory regime in respect to that space. And we are sharing that information and we're dealing in those matters.
Well, you bring up a great point, Prime Minister, in that, Bahamas has become a leader for crypto, for blockchain. And President Masisi, I'm going to Botswana because Forbes is we're having our third annual Forbes Under 37 Africa, where we're bringing 1,000 young entrepreneurs. And part of the reason we're in Botswana is, again, a lot because of you, because there's an environment, democracy, the rule of law, the kind of things that you need to build businesses. And so what are the policies that you're putting into place, just like, Prime Minister Davis is, leaning into finance, finance, crypto, blockchain, in terms of spurring entrepreneurship?
Well, thanks a lot. And I'm glad you're going to Botswana tomorrow. I wish you all would go to Botswana tomorrow. Just log on. You're welcome. We are bringing about the new age policies to include many more young people in response to our demographic realities. We have a very youthful population, as many developing countries do, and particularly in Africa, where close to 60% of persons are young. It is the youngest continent. We're a young country. It is the fastest growing continent. We're a pretty fast growing country. We want to take advantage and optimize on our comparative advantages, one of which is what we've zeroed in on. We're laser focused on digitizing our economy because we want to use that as a lever to extrapolate or to evacuate ourselves out of the realities of being landlocked in the fastest, best way possible. And we're linking up with some leading global companies, institutions, organizations, as we seek friends. One of them is a country of the Bahamas. They are global leaders, the Prime Minister said, in the financial service sector. They have a digital currency managed by the central bank. We, on the other hand, have stopped check payments, and they want to learn from that. So our central banks have gotten together. They're learning from each other. Small countries, but we want to shake the world. And one of the advantages of also these two countries getting together, small as it might be, is that it's easiest to move the needle. We're pretty well-governed countries. When things work in the Bahamas, things work in Botswana. So as we tessellate, we hope for global impact in the example that we set. And we both have a recent past where we were blacklisted by those who blacklist countries. And we've resolved, the two of us, never to get back to that. And so we exchange notes through our regulatory institutions, through our financial sector and our ministries in making sure that we never regress and rather set the example for everybody else. So the Prime Minister has shared in the MOU those areas we want to collaborate on. And besides, we're both nations committed to peace. And so we expand this peace dividend and want to show this example to the world.
I think it's a great case study, and it couldn't be more true. Let's give that, obviously, like, if we want to defeat extreme poverty, the most important country in the world is Nigeria. But to get there, it's the small countries that can offer a roadmap. It's a lot easier to prove things and to try things and see what works. And you're both doing a great job. What are you doing each, maybe quickly, because I want to get to a few more things, about climate change, in that you both have, it's obviously an issue for both countries, but, President Masisi, you have a country that, climate change could make it even more arid. And meanwhile, Prime Minister Davis, you're surrounded by water. So how do you, same problem, different problems?
Yeah, well, in respect to the climate change issue, it's a serious threat to me. And I've been advocating for this last several years. I became Prime Minister to wake up the global North as to its responsibility to what we're experiencing. If you consider that more than 40% of my national debt is directly attributed to recovery and restoring after a catastrophic event. If you consider that the last devastating hurricane to hit our shores was called Dorian, cost our economy in loss and damage $3.4 billion. When my annual revenue is less than $3 billion, you see the devastating effect of that. I'm an ocean state, spread over 100,000 square miles of pristine, clear, tranquil waters. And as that ocean state, more than 85% of our landmass is less than 3 meters above sea level. With rising seas, and recognizing as well that my landmass is porous limestone. With rising seas, warming waters, it's not just coming over us, it's seeping up to us. Warming waters cause loss of marine lives. Our biodiversity in coral reefs and mangroves are being threatened. If nothing happens, right, I'm doomed to become, my people are doomed to be climate refugees or to a watery grave. So it's an urgent challenge for me to wake up the North and allow them to stop talking. But we're doing some things, but I'm not despairing. But we are doing some things which I'll talk about at another time. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. You did say, Randall, that tomorrow you're going to Botswana. The capital of Botswana is Gaborone. And you're going to meet some of the funkiest, smartest, geekiest young people in Botswana. He's organizing a meeting of 1,000 of some of the brightest in the tech space as part of the Forbes Under 30. And there's a third time we do it. And each time it gets better and better and better. And so one of the things that we're committed to doing with the Bahamas, and there's no way I respond to Prime Minister and his clear waters, we are committed to bringing our young people together in solidarity as citizens of the two countries, but also citizens of the world, to solve some of our most fundamental questions of climate change. So the citizens of Botswana, young, need to see the threats that climate change poses to the Bahamas and resolve to make sure that the Bahamas does not disappear from the face of the earth. The young people